So I was driving and thinking and conversations with others, and my mind starts to wander, and I love to think on about philosophies of things, and one that come to me tonight was stories, right? What is it about the stories that we watch, that we love so much, that draw us in? And I'm going to use some of the old English ways of speaking and the ways in which we write, and authors have gone, and playwrights and poets have written word over, millennia, right? All the way back into antiquity. And one is man against man, right? When a human has to pit themselves against another, whether it's in combat or in a survival situation or a game of chess, right? But it's usually when we watch these movies or read these stories, they're somewhere out there, having to overcome another human being, and it's inspiring, and it grips us, and we're like, how are they going to deal with this situation? Rocky Balboa in the Rocky movies are a great one. And we got man against nature, where we get inspired by a person in a way like, why are they gonna free climb that high? No safety nets. Oh my God, like, they're insane. Like, I don't know if I would ever do that, but it lures us in to watch, a human overcoming, traveling the seas in a sailboat as a teenager, or overcoming a shark attack, or a wild beast in the woods. Nature is brutal and it's raw, and we're lured in by someone overcoming that. And then man against themselves, the person that's got to go deep inside and overcome, maybe some childhood trauma as to why they're not who they want to be in life, or what's led them to drug addiction and how they get out of it. And, a person that has to look at their limitations they may have from a surgery or an accident or a cognitive situation in which they must overcome. And we watch these stories with inspiration, and they're feel-good stories of them, of their triumph over these victories of, man against man, man against nature, man against themselves. And then I ask myself, like, what are we doing as humans to make these concepts our own lives? Are we, and I ask this question, getting out, and are we challenging ourselves against another? It don't have to be in Mortal Kombat, right? But are we challenging someone against someone in chess, right? Maybe a philosophical conversation that leads to debates in which we see other views and experience a different way of thought from another person's perspective, but it's challenging. It's human against human. It's man against man. Do we get out into nature, the natural world, something that might scare us a little bit? Maybe we go ride a horse. We're petrified of horses. We go to a place, we learn how to ride horses, we overcome it. Maybe we go hike that mountain. We take on that first Spartan race. You're going to find man against man out there, and man against, well, the last one I'm going to talk to. Man against themselves, right? Are we looking inward enough to find out what might be holding us back, what might not be making us happy in life? Are we trying to be a better human through understanding ourselves more, which will trickle out into our other lives, our families, our friends, and at the workplace? So this is not anything other than just a topic of thought, right? These stories that we love so much, that we're always attracted to, that we love to watch, they can be our own stories. We can get out there, and if we're not feeling happy in life, if there's something missing, we don't quite understand why, could it quite possibly be that we're not writing our own stories? We're not becoming the stories that we love in some way? So I do have a challenge you to get out there, take on someone else, take on another human in some sort of a conflict, whether chess, you know what I mean, word scrabble, who can finish it first, you know what I'm saying? And yes, maybe a foot race. Take on nature, right? Go out in the cold with no shirt on, just deal with the cold for a while, and build some self-efficacy if I can. Maybe we go out and we, tackle a Spartan race we've never done, and just go on a hard hike. And then yourself. Reach deep within and take a look at areas that may not be bolstered to the spiritual fortitude that we want. Or maybe we're not reading enough, and challenge ourselves to read a little bit more and take that on as a personal endeavor. And I challenge you, win or lose, good or bad, you're still in the fight. I challenge you to not feel better as you start to push yourself in these areas that are usually reserved for the stories we watch and read and get inspired by, but maybe just never take on those actions ourselves. That's my thoughts on being the master of our own stories in life, because we are the ones that are going to write it. We are the authors, whether we like it or not. Love you.